Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday. I hope you've all had an amazing weekend and you are looking forward to March break coming up at the end of this week. You should. Your goal for this week really should be for this class to get the work done for this class this week so that you can go into the March break without any responsibilities, at least for this class. My hope is that you have none for your other classes as well so that you can just enjoy that time because having that break is really important as you come back in and dive into the next steps towards midterms. Okay, as grade 12 students, we know obviously these midterm marks really are quite important. So I would approach this week with that strategy in mind. So what is on the agenda for this week? Don't forget that your participation activity is right here. That's your attendance check for the week. You do need to complete that. You will have to complete it after you watch the documentary because the questions assigned in the attendance activity this week are applied to the documentary that you are assigned. Okay. So here we are. It's a pretty simple week, actually. So scheduled for Monday, you have been assigned your third journal reflection piece. But within this reflection, there are a number of links. So I'm just going to open up the assignment. You can find this assignment also available in Dropbox. And I'll just show that to you now. Actually, no, I'm not going to because I don't want to lose that. But if you go under assessments, it's assignment number 3. Okay, so if you go into that journal entry number 3, organizations in the new workplace, it looks like this. You have a number of videos to watch and a number of articles to read. Now, I strongly recommend that when you watch these videos and you read these articles that you take notes, okay? You keep them in your Unit 1 notes because you are going to find that these items come back in future assessments and future test situations and even the final exams. So just even referring back to these documentaries and referring back to these articles, it definitely shows growth and connection to your learning as you contextualize all of the different examples that I give you that ties into the curriculum that you're learning. So it's very, very important. And this is really all you have to do this week. So I'm really going to be looking for that in your work. Okay. So I'm emphasizing that for a reason. So you've been assigned a video entitled Women Only Workspaces. These are short videos. Okay. This Pixar Spark Shorts is 7 minutes as an example. There's articles on what different types of perks that companies are offering in modern day that you might find really interesting. And then also some other additional readings. So this one here is a new article about how many European countries are actually moving to a 4-day work week. And then once you've done all of that and you've taken notes on all of that, you're going to write a journal piece. And this journal piece is you're going to create a Google document and you're going to answer these questions. Now, what I'm looking for from these questions is tying it back to the stuff that you've read and you've learned. Okay. So any of the curriculum content we've done so far. So what is a manager? What are the 4 functions of management, 21st century management, inverted pyramid, all of that content that we've been looking at over the last few weeks, certainly apply that. But I'm really looking for making connections to the details of these articles and these videos that you've been asked to watch. This proves to me that you're doing that work, and that's what I'm going to be looking for in my assessment of these questions. Okay, so again, the questions are here for you to read and review. As I've mentioned here, if you are going to be doing any outside research to input into this assignment, do make sure that you are including citations in Chicago style. I'm not asking for any outside research except for the very last question, but that's again there for you if you want to take it to the next level. You do not need to do citations for any of these sources listed here, just again, because I've given them to you and really what I'm looking for are the connections. So that's your first assignment for this week. And then you move into Tuesday, which is documentary day. You've been assigned a documentary entitled Office Land. It's being screened through the CBC. It's an interesting documentary. You will find that this documentary is reflected in future assessments and your final exam. Okay, so again, while you're watching it, I would strongly suggest that you take some notes. Okay. And again, it's 43 minutes, and these are the only 2 assessments for this week. Okay, so you've got the journal entry and you've got watching the documentary, and then you have a discussion post based on the documentary. So again, when you go into Brightspace, you click communication. This is your 3rd discussion post of the course. And again, what I'm looking for in your discussion post is that you're not just answering the questions, but you're connecting it back to the curriculum we've learned so far. And specifically in this discussion post, I'm looking for specific connections to the Office Land documentary. Prove to me that you've watched the documentary. That's why it's good to take notes while you're going through it, just so that you remember and retain that information for when you answer these questions, okay? And it's also awesome because you get to think about your own future workspaces and the type of occupation that you might like to have. So, for example, because the world is shifting so dramatically as a result of the pandemic, more and more offices are actually working remotely. Flex time, flex spaces are becoming far more commonplace. And so we're seeing more and more students move away from the traditional in person jobs, such as even just first responder jobs, doctors, nurses, teachers, and moving more towards thinking about jobs that might not be so restricted in terms of where you need to be on site. So again, this is an opportunity for you to reflect on what works best for you based on this information that you're learning this week. So a lot of students really like this information because it allows them to think outside the box for their future occupations as well. Okay. And that is it. So you've got for this week, again, your attendance activity. You just have to complete that in order to be marked as present for the whole week. You've got your journal entry, which is that third assignment. And you've got to, obviously, within that assignment, go through all of these items and make sure you're taking good study notes that you can refer back to as you move towards future assessments. And then on Tuesday, you've got your documentary and the discussion post. As you know, with discussion posts, you do need to go back once you've posted and read and reply to 2 peer posts. And again, making sure that you are including a question to engage in that communication with your peers. You do get marked on that. So that is important, okay? And then you have work periods for the rest of the week to complete those 2 assessments. So again, it's not a lot, but it's a lot of content, I should say, in terms of making sure you're keeping those really good notes and connecting back. But I think you'll find this information really relatable and interesting and a great segue into the March break. And those assessments are due the Monday at 8 a.m. following the March break. So you actually do have 2 weeks to complete everything. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I would strongly recommend you just get it done upfront the week with it, get it done so that you don't have to think about it or have it hanging over you, so that you can really truly go into your March break and enjoy yourselves. Okay. If you have any questions, send me an email. 5th weeks will be coming out this week. So if I have any concerns, I'll be reaching out to you this week anyways. And otherwise, I also want to note that I am going away for the March break with my family. So I will not be available over email over the entire March break. So if you do email me, then just know that I will not be replying until I return to school the following Monday. Okay. I hope you guys all have a wonderful week and March break. And if you need anything, send me an email. I'll see you online.